Happy Friday, you delicious beings. Yes, I've been looking forward to this live. I'm so excited. Anything healing and spiritual and connectivity, I love. Okay, here she is. Happy Friday, delicious beings. How you doing? Welcome to Free Flame Thoughts. Today's special guest feature is Divinity from Shrineofdivinity. Today we're going to be talking all things healing and sound. Divinity is a energy worker. I would also say light worker, also most definitely a hoodoo queen and a Tibetan bowl sound healing therapist, and so much more. Let's bring her all the way in. Divinity. Here's hoping that everyone has updated their Instagram apps, which will prevent any delay in you either coming in as a guest or even as a viewer. Yeah. How we doing?
Hi,
Hello.
can you
Perfect.
see me?
That is perfect. There you go. I can see then. There you go. Perfect. How are you, my love?
Doing really well. How are you?
Oh, I've been excited to be vibing with you this evening. I've been so looking forward to it.
I have too. Absolutely. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm trying to get you guys the way I have it set up. You can see
Mm-hmm.
everything, but I
Mm-hmm.
see the lives are different. You can't really see. You can only see like half of me, right?
No, I see from head to hips.
Okay. Gotcha.
it,
Gotcha. Okay.
it can be so misleading sometimes, and then when you watch it back, the person's head's cut off, so I'm always trying to make sure that I don't miss anything wonderful. There you go. That's pretty perfect.
Right. There we
All
go.
right.
There we go.
Do you know what? Right about now, I want to press a button and zap myself all the way where you are, because I'm just loving the vibe. Watch her and the incense burning, and it's so me. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
All
Look, I
right.
just lit a candle. Let's get it going.
You're very much like me. I'm surrounded by it. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so before I get too excited, guys, I forget my whole reason why I'm even here today. All right, guys, so whilst you're making your way in on the live, and for those who cannot join us, enjoy the playback. Good evening, everyone. This is Divinity from Shrine of Divinity, and later on, she'll be telling you a lot more about what Shrine of Divinity is all about. But right now, let's start off with asking you how your day was and how you spent your day leading up to this live tonight.
Okay, so hi everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My day was
Welcome.
fabulous. It was relaxing. Typically I prepare like almost all day for events like this or meetings like this. So I clean my house, I relax. Look, y'all, I got a glass of wine.
Oh, I love
I'm
it.
having
I
a
love
great
it.
time. It's
You're
been a
so
vibe.
my vibe. You're so
Yeah.
my vibe. Hmm.
It's been a vibe.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, have a sip of wine for me because today I've just got my tea and my water. So have a sip of wine for me, girl. Okay.
I'll have
All
a sip
right.
of wine.
So before we get into the layers of sound and the benefits of this vibration and healing and wonderfulness, let me do what I always do, which is the warm up zone, just before we get into the actual conversation. It allows me and the viewers to get to know you on a soulful perspective. Yeah, is that okay?
Perfect.
Super. Who is Divinity? Tell us a bit about the soul of Divinity.
All right, y'all. So, the soul of divinity is a very loving, caring, radiant soul. I'm also a warrior. If I have to be a warrior, it's not the mode that I choose to operate in, but it's a
Hmm.
necessary mode to be able to protect and cover ourselves. We're out here in
Hmm.
the streets. So,
Come
anybody,
on now.
right? So, anybody who's anybody doing any type of spiritual work, we all know that protection is number one. So,
Mm.
there, I'm just a very helpful soul. I'm here to help assist. I know a lot
Hmm.
of people I've been getting away from the word healer because, everybody's on their own healing journey and doing what they need to do for themselves. So I like to say that I'm an energy worker that is here to assist people in their healing journey, provide tips, provide tools. There you have it.
Anyone that's used to me probably thinking, why has she not challenged her here or there or there? Because you already said it, which means I asked you about the soul of you. You said, I'm a warrior. Yeah. And that almost tells me, okay, she's mentioned all the love and light side, but don't play with this spiritual sister now because she will turn up.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen,
Okay. Yeah.
I got
Love
stories
it.
for days.
Love it. And then you also said in terms of trying to get away from a certain word, and that's so me. And it reminds me of me a lot because I hate kind of magnifying a lot of what is because it's so sometimes misused. So I like the fact that you're saying, assisting the healer within the person, and I'm an advocate of that. I love it. So thank you for that introduction. All
Absolutely.
right. So another question, there's a few questions on the warm-up zone. What is your origin? Where's your folks from? We hear the American accent, but where's your family from?
So, genetically, I'm mostly Nigerian. Um,
Nice.
yes, I have a bit of Congo in me. I do have Native in me, the Native Americans who are here. I'm researching tribes, y'all. It's a lot, y'all. I took the test, to
Yeah,
find out. I
you
found
want to
out.
do mines.
I found out I'm related to 13,000 people. That's a lot of people to be related to. So,
Wow.
right? That be,
When did you first take the test? That's
I
interesting.
took the test years ago, like 2017. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and from there, I've been tracing my roots. I've been tracing my lineage. There is a Caucasian in me as well, more so like from Sweden and places like that. So I've been researching a lot, as I can say. So I like to be very transparent that I am a lot of things mixed in one.
I love it. That really tells me a lot in terms of a lot of us want to do a lot of things, especially know thy roots. But the fact that you've been on this spiritual journey from so young
Yeah.
speaks volumes. This ain't no trend for you, girl. Yeah,
It's
it's the
not no
real deal.
trend,
Yeah?
right?
Okay. Okay. All right, mama.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, what was divinity like as a child?
As a child, how young we talking? We talking teen or we talking child, like 8?
Anything. It could be child, it could be teenager, whichever.
Let's see. As a teen, I'll just start with teenager, I guess. As a child, I was very quiet and shy. But I was talking with my ancestors then. I was communicating with my ancestors then. I know that I get a lot of my spiritual gifts from my father's side, who was able.
Ooh.
He was a boy. So people on my father's side carry the gift of sight. A lot of them do, or a few of them do. But
Nice.
far as going into my teenage years, I wasn't trying to accept what I had to do. I was at the teen club, I was partying. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to live my life. What do you mean? I
Yeah.
got stuff to do. Like, so,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And so
That
I,
was you.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
And so,
just before I push on, tell me, you said you were speaking to your ancestors from that young. What did
mhm.
that sound and look like for you as a young girl? Because that's very young to identify something like that within you. How did you, yeah, let us into how
Lord,
that happened.
I swear it had to just be like an unlocked level within myself. We come with these ancestral gifts. Some of us are psychic. Some of us have different intuitive gifts and things of the sort, and it's very ancestral for us. It comes from
Mm,
our African ancestors or whoever. But for me,
mm.
it was kind of just like something turned on one day, and I just knew that I could talk to them. I knew that I could speak with them. Maybe it's something that traveled with me from a past.
But let me ask you something more specific as well. When you say you could speak to them, Could you actually hear anything, or did you see anything, or was it just a vibration where you felt like this doesn't feel like everyday emotion? What was it like for you?
I was hearing, and the way that we hear our ancestors, a lot of us, is through our own thoughts. We learn how to
Yes.
differentiate our thoughts and what is their thoughts. They're in us through the blood, through
Mm.
the DNA. So they have the option energetically to speak through us vibrationally, or they can just, verbally speak. So for me, it was more so I was hearing in my mind, and I was also feeling. And I was also being waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning repeatedly, repeatedly. And this is like 8 years old. And I knew that it was time to talk, it was time to communicate. Because what I had did is I had created a letter for my deceased great grandmother whom I had never met. And I told
Mm.
her, thank you for walking with me and being with me. I created her this card, and I remember throwing it into the abyss of my closet. It was just dark, and we have never found that card. Like, that card is gone. So that's
So
how I
wait,
really
wait,
started.
wait. So you wrote the card and it just
It's
never to be seen?
We never found that card again. I threw it in there for her. I knew it was kind of like a vortex in a sense. When you're young and you're so open like that, a lot of things are just really easily accessible and open to you.
Yes.
The veil is very thin. You don't have to work so hard.
Yes.
You haven't been through a lot to block you and close you down. So I threw it in there, and ever since, it was like the energy came pouring in heavy.
Where did you put the card? Divinity?
I threw it into the closet. I made the card. It was for her. I threw it into the closet for her because I figured she would get it somehow. And when I
And
say
she did.
she did, and she walks with me now. Absolutely, she got that card.
Wow. Do you know what? Let me tell you, I've been so excited to speak to you for a reason because energy told me that you are definitely a real roots sister. And I know what I mean by that. The fact that you're having this conversation with me as a young woman, yeah, a very young woman who is uninhibited about these types of activities, which tells me you know that supernatural is real. I'm always fascinated by people that has that depth in them, because in
Yeah,
this day and age, especially, it's like he or she crazy as hell. You know what I mean? But the
yes,
fact you're
yes,
saying, I made the card, I know it went into the vortex, and grandmother got that. I love it. She sure did, because I'm not a believer. I'm a knower of that. So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I
It
love it.
it's just
Wow.
going, 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 rising, rising, rising. Yeah.
So that part's okay. We're still in the warm up zone, guys, for you watching. And we're just, for those who just clicked on, going through the warm up zone of who Divinity is, elements of her soul and character and experiences. So that's who you were as a child. Okay. How would your friends and family describe you now as a woman?
Oh, they would describe me as a great mother. Um,
Ooh,
I have two little children, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. They're going to be
nice.
3 and 5. And they would describe me as very compassionate, caring. I'm the person they go to when they need some nurturing and loving, when they need someone that's going to understand, not with like tough love, but with
Mhm.
so I'm
Oh, okay.
you to say it's okay, we're gonna figure this out. So they would describe me as being just very open, helpful, and loving and sweet.
That is nice, but it's got to be a B side, baby. There's got to be one seed in you that's we all got the light and the dark, right? So
Right.
give me element, give me. I love that, but tell me one thing on the other side of that you
So
maybe described as.
right. So I'm very quick to shut some stuff down, like very quick. If I have to operate in that way, if I have to speak up, if I have to cuss you out, if I have to sit you down, like I said, I don't like operating in that manner because then I have to get myself and my energy all back in the balance. There's a way that I operate and I move my energy and my frequency when I'm in a certain elevated frequency. It's easier
Absolutely,
to do my work. But if you put it in
absolutely.
a lower frequency, and I gotta come down there and cuss you out and tell you about yourself. Then that's what I gotta do. But then I gotta get myself back together. So they would say once you push her, like, I know you messed up. Like, can we cuss on this line? Okay, I know.
Go, go, bring it all.
If Diamond coming for you, I'm also called Diamond. That's my government name, Diamond Rebel.
Nice.
So if Diamond's coming for you, then I know you fucked up.
All the
That's
way
how
up.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay. 1 second. Oh, now, guys, a little bit of an explanation because it can be very misunderstood for why on every live I always ask people to tell me about the other side. It's not because I want to pull the negativity out of people. It's because I invite them to embrace the other side of who we are. That's number one. Okay. And number two, because we've been engineered to, it's like writing a CV for a government job. But when we're not in that government role, it's okay to say, actually, I am wonderful and I'm this and I'm loving. But on the other side, actually, there's also that. And again, it's not that I want to emphasize to promote any negativity in us, but it's about me saying it's okay for us to announce that and embrace it, even if we transition from it.
Absolutely, I agree. I have no problems with it at all.
Yeah.
It's like a preference, but if I have to move and work with my anger, then I will. I can put it to good use. I can alchemize it to make it work in my favor. Like I said, it's not.
Ooh,
But if I got
how did you manage girl, how did you manage to make that sound so positive? You've just spun my ass round.
how I alchemize it to work in my favor, because listen, anger carries a certain frequency that can also make mountains move as well. If you got to shut some stuff down, if you need to demand and declare what it is that what you say and it's how it's going to be, then you can use your anger to solidify that for you energetically. So it's practices that
Mm.
we do to use our anger as fuel. And so
That must be the most positive comeback I've ever had in this dimension of a world in my life. Yeah, in regards to
right.
that. Guys, do you know, now I'm so pleased I asked this question because I've never ever in my life felt like I can put my anger to good use in that term. So that is so inspiring and empowering. And I love the way you did that. I'm lost for words, which is a very rare occasion.
Thank you. She said that's rare.
No, it's so
Yeah.
rare.
Well,
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay. What color out of all the colors will describe you in any shape or form?
blue.
Ooh,
Blue. Like a very
why is that?
blue.
Tell me.
Blue is a very healing color. It's a very transformative color as well. I know my ancestors loved blue a lot.
Mm,
Um,
really?
yes, when I was creating my first ancestor altar, they wanted blue. They didn't want a white cloth. So I use blue. And it's just a color that represents, who I am, energetically and just genetically as well. So I love the blue for me.
Nice. What's your favorite pastime? What do you do when you're just doing nothingness? Or yeah, what's your favorite? It could be a hobby, it could be
Y'all will
anything.
joke and laugh. I went through like an emo phase as a teen, and I don't think it's ever really left me.
What does that mean?
So emo phase is kind of like grunge, a little bit of punk rock, stuff like that.
Oh,
I went through that phase as a teen, kind of like a Avril Lavigne type scene, and through
that's
adult,
cool.
yeah, through adulthood, it kind of carried with me, and I still read, little comics every here and again. So if I want to have fun and do nothing, I read scary story comics.
Do
Random.
that. Okay, I'm loving you. I'm just loving you right now because you are so far the epitome of you cannot be boxed.
Yes.
Yeah, you cannot be boxed. And you know what, people? What she's already showing us is just because she comes under the spiritual banner look at these other elements to you that would surprise people, because people have this concept of, I thought you were spiritual, or I thought you were, because that's what people are like with me. I like, am I not supposed to be? Am I not supposed to take off
Yeah.
my earrings and cuss your ass out if it comes to it? Am I not? There's always a misconception of how we're supposed to be. So I love it that you're like that.
Honestly, I think it has to do with all this new age stuff where we didn't necessarily get to tap into our ancestral roots on how we can operate in our spiritual power. We don't have to have all this, love and light. I mean, it's good, but we don't have to have all these like certain boho aesthetics to be, a spiritual person. So when we trace our roots, the gifts that come with us are through the blood, and our
Mm.
moms and granddaddies were cussing, they was eating whatever they wanted to, they was doing whatever, and they still could read the mess out of you. They still could heal you from whatever you needed to be healed from. They still could help you. It didn't have nothing to do with how they lived their life. It's a genetic ancestral gift that cannot be taken from us. And so
Mhm.
I don't know how to really
I love it.
integrate
I love
this.
it.
Yes.
You're just in touch with the different sides of self. You're not in a
Yes.
brand mode of spirituality. And this is what I'm loving about you. And even when you spoke about the grunge, so even though I'm not on the scene, a lot of my wardrobe reflects that. So I will mix grunge with funk. And, as you see, we'll have the cultural mix with maybe even the boho. My wardrobe's crazy. you
Yes.
know? So I don't have to walk around with a head wrap every day and say, ooh, I'm spiritual. Do you know what I'm
No,
trying to
you're
say?
not. Yeah, exactly. And boxing us in really limits us. It really holds us down. It really stops us from being our full self, from rising
I
to
love it.
potential. So, I mean, a lot of people might have, feel a certain way as a spiritual person is supposed to be this way, be boxed in with this aesthetic. But recently, like I said, I've been trying to figure out a way to integrate and push that a little bit to have, especially our Black people, be more open to the fact that we are,
Yeah,
no matter what we got going on, no matter what we wearing, we can still hear, we can still see, we can still help. So,
100%.
mm,
Wonderfully said. Okay, well, here's my last question on the warm-up zone. Do you have a favorite word and why?
do I have a favorite word? Ooh. um, I think my favorite word would be transcend.
Oh, girl, that's a beautiful one. That
Yeah.
is a beautiful one. That's nice. That is nice. I actually thought you was going to say divinity.
Really? Oh,
And let me tell you
well,
why, because I love that word. I speak about the divinity within, so that's actually a very divine word. So I thought you were going to say, I don't know why, I was feeling divinity.
well, that's a word I love to say too. It's my business.
Mhm.
So hey, yeah,
Mhm.
seriously.
Transcend. I use that word a lot as well. It's very beautiful.
It is a beautiful word. It just means that you don't have to stay where you're at. You can always transcend through whatever you have going on and elevate and grow.
Mm.
I love that word.
Lovely. Well, that was your warm-up zone. And let me turn to the audience. Guys, welcome. So before we get into the real depth of the conversation, guys, and we will come back and create space for your comments and stuff like that. Okay, Divinity. Let's get into it. Actually,
Yes.
firstly, what are you burning? What's your flavor at the moment? What have you got around you? What energy have you got around you at the moment?
This is a myrrh incense that I'm burning. Myrrh carries a very high vibrational frequency. It
Yes.
high vibrational beings to come and communicate and sit with you and be with you and work in your space. So myrrh is also found in the Bible as well. If you
Is that
got
with the
something,
frankincense, isn't it?
right, exactly. So it's a very type of holy type of resin that you burn, especially when you want to create a good atmosphere for your space or whatever you're doing. Myrrh.
Nice, very nice. What other burning herbs do you like to have around you, and why?
So the other herbs, I'm big on the frankincense, copal, and myrrh. That is just my go-to for cleansing, resetting. I actually smudge my home every other day or every day. There's certain protection works that I do because I have people who come over and there's a lot releasing off and out of them. So I have to make sure that I'm cleansing, I'm cleaning, and I'm balancing the energy within my home and within myself. So that is like
Mhm.
number one thing I like to burn with. And then I find these little Hindu blends. I wish I could share them. It's kind of like healing home or like happy thoughts. I find these little blends that I like that I
I
purchase.
love it. I see. I love it because again, guys, you didn't feel the need to say typically sage or typically this. It's so off the beaten track. There's so many beautiful herbs, like whether it's lavender, whether it's the rosemary bush, whether it's there's
Mhm.
so many herbs. But the fact that you've gone back to the old school and the traditionals of like the myrrh is so nice and powerful. And that is
It
especially when I'm moving to a new house, like especially traditionally, it'd be like, burn some frankincense or myrrh and go around the home and cleanse before you move into a new property in case of whatever was present before in that home.
you
So
can
that's very,
never go
very
wrong.
powerful scent. Mm.
You can
And
never go.
clearly it works for you as well. It's got to work for you, isn't it?
Yes, it works so good.
Mm.
I mean, it just resets my entire vibe in my home. And I make sure I keep my windows open. So, energy has a place to cleanse and get on out. You don't want to be smudging and then you have all your doors and windows closed. You want to make sure you open everything and let energy move and flow.
Nice. Do you ever actually direct that essence to yourself? Because I not everyone does, but I find I always I always speak on sometimes we are sometimes cleansing or speaking of purifying to get people away from us in terms of energy that's negative or toxic or whatever people want to call it. But sometimes for me, even like before I come on, I actually cleanse myself because I could be carrying the heavy weight. I could be carrying the day of disappointment or energy that's not nice, and I come on here and I exchange that with you. So I actually cleanse myself and also the house so that I have some level of balance within me, so because I could be the problem, we could be the problem, you know
We
what I'm
could be
saying,
the
just
problem.
smudging, but we the
Absolutely.
problem. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Love that you
yeah,
said that. That's a good balance. Hmm.
yeah, right. All right, so girl, the most exciting part, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I love it. I got myself a little bowl some time ago, but I'm not a professional like this young sister right here. So let's start with, how did you get into sound healing? What was your first trigger point of inspiration to that path?
Oh, this is a yummy story. You ready?
Yeah, I'm so girl. Yeah.
So, I had to be about 16, 17 years old. I'm from Atlanta and I was working downtown in Little Five Points. Some people may know what Little Five Points is, they may not.
No. Hmm.
Yeah, it was this very hipster area. It was different back then, um,
Mm.
hipster today, essentially. But at 16 and 17 years old, I was trying to find my way in the world. I was going through a lot, just like at home, personal situations with parents. I'm just like,
Hmm.
I got to find out how to make it on this world. I don't know what I'm doing. And so then I was dating this guy at the time, and he took me to this Hare Krishna temple. I hope I'm saying that right, y'all.
Nice.
And it was a temple here. It might still be here on Ponce de Leon. And we could come in and we can just lay down and experience sound baths. And then they also
Wow.
on certain nights. So I was in that temple and I was laying down, and the first sound bath I had, it kind of just really like took over me. It like transformed my life, my mind. I was like, I want to be in this vibe. I don't know what this is, but I want to stay here for the rest of my life. And so
Wow.
sound baths and being with the hipster people back then, we were young, we were just going with the flow and seeing what we could see. And of course, you guys might know this app called Meetup. So Meetup was still going on back then, where we could meet up with different groups that were doing things that you're interested in.
That's
So
so cool.
I was meeting up in
Mm.
groups and we were doing the sound healing, the meditation, we were doing the prayers, we were doing all this stuff. And so then I got my first bowl, and it was a wrap from there. Quite honestly, y'all might know this place called Crystal Blue. They had bowls there in Little Five Points, and I bought one after I was going to sound baths, and the rest was history. I would play it out in nature, and the trees would just speak to me,
Ooh.
wash over me. I would have so much fun in nature with my one little bowl. And so I was like, I got to do something with this. I got to grow with this. And so then when I moved to Phuket, Thailand, with my children's father at the time. I had took a class. I had took a little course there at this place out there, and we had a good time. I learned a lot. I had a good time. If y'all want to research it, the place is called Jungala. It's in Phuket, Thailand. So I had it like a sound therapy session, and I bought my bowl. This is the
Mhm.
bowl I got from Phuket,
Oh,
Thailand.
wow. The same bowl.
Right,
Okay.
this is my baby right here. This one who do what they supposed to. She do what she.
Oh, it's where it all began.
That's
Yeah.
where it began, and so then I brought all the gifts home back to the States. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was such, there's so much I'm going to unravel in that story. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
First of all, I'm so like, 'cause I mean, spirituality excites me. Spirituality is the one time I'm not challenging. I'm always like a child who was like, because spirituality excites me because there's so many realms and different, corners to spirituality. So the fact that you started so young in that area, sound baths at like 16, the first question is, can you explain and share with us what a sound bath is so people know the difference between, yeah?
Yes, so the sound bath is where you lay down. You may have a mat, your yoga mat, you may have a blanket, pillows, whatever you bring to kind of bundle and wrap yourself up and get yourself into like a relaxed state. So you'll lay down and you will just hear and feel these harmonious waves just wash over you and relax you, kind of put you to sleep, or you have visions coming to you or you have clarity coming to you from a sound bath. It's like it's very angelic energy, very high frequencies that bathe the whole room that you're in with other people that allow
Um,
all to experience like a heightened consciousness, an elevated consciousness. And that's for sound bath. And as for sound therapy, it's you actually being assessed, treated, having individualized work done on different energetic points on the body, or from your crown all the way if your feet are hurting, just anything. These are healing vibrations that go through your body, deep into your tissues, into your cells, into the
um,
fluid. It helps to move and vibrate any type of blockages that are manifesting or have manifested within your body and your subtile body, your energetic astral body as well.
nice.
Break this up and move it out of you. So that is the difference between like a sound bath and then like having an individualized sound therapy session.
Thank you for defining that for us.
You're
Did you ever experience that whilst having these sound baths, or if you've heard of anyone whilst having a sound bath, that as you know, people respond to things differently. It's like a drug, and it says we all respond differently. Some may be quiet, or some may be emotional and crying. Did you ever experience like any emotional releases during that? Because I can only imagine the vibration that would bring out in me.
Oh yeah, oh
You
yeah. Some
know.
do cry. Some people have things on them. For
Mhm.
myself, I cried a few times. I'm still a crier. Um,
Mm.
I will have visions come to me on how I could have did things better or how I
Ooh.
paid attention to a certain situation and I did not. It's a very type of self-development that happened for me when I was in sound baths. It was like a
Mm.
eye-opening, absolutely. So I was able to
Mm.
see it clearly, the things I should have been doing and how I should have did things this way or that. Well, so as I grow within my practice, I have to
Mhm.
lessons and I have to learn from things so I can continue to grow and evolve. So it's a lot of talks between me and my ancestors on how we're going to continue to grow and evolve as a team with sound baths. when
That
I
is so
when I
beautiful.
yeah.
What a journey. Nice. So in terms of Phuket, which is a very beautiful place, I visited myself. The whole fact
You
of,
love
yeah, I've been there myself. Well, when did I go? When did I go? Was it 2020 or 2018? But it was I loved it. I loved it. Um, you said you had your first lesson out there. Was it your first, or did you study out there? You said once you moved out, you studied how to use the
Yes, I
bowl.
studied. So essentially, Thailand is a very high energetic frequency place anyway. honor their ancestors. I know, everywhere you turn, they have a shrine, and this is where Shrine of Divinity comes from. They have a shrine for
Nice.
there's on every single lot. I don't care if you pulling up to the Ford dealership. There's a shrine for their ancestors at the Ford dealership. So with the combination of experiencing energy and spirits there and heightened frequencies there, I went to Jungala. I did like a session, and then he was teaching me a little after the session, and he was teaching me how to, the energy moves and the different bowls and things of the sort like that. So it started off as me getting work done. And then it
Mm.
kind of transformed into a whole lesson. And I had already had some experience prior to coming, of course, like 5 years prior. But
Mhm.
as I went there and I was researching what's around me, I was learning, I was picking up, and he was sharing things with me. And I went on this whole journey of just learning how to really work with the singing bowls and move that energy.
Nice. Well, without further ado, perhaps I should stop quizzing you and invite you. Yeah, because we want to hear this. I know, guys, I know. Yeah. I'm going to ask you so much more. But for now, would you like to share with us for whatever period of minutes of time how you use your sound bowl?
Yes, I will share with you guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So look at my trusted handy dandy singing bowl. And
Oh, the
this
baby of
one
the bunch.
is, yes, this one is note B. It is
Hmm.
connected to your crown chakra. Note
Hmm.
carries the vibration to cleanse and clear all your chakras. Of course, to
Hmm.
keep your chakras cleansed and clear, you will have to physically put in the work to be in alignment, to have that reflect from your chakras. But
Hmm.
if you want to dust them off, so to speak, revitalize them, open them up, get those messages that we need, sound bowls and the frequency coming from note B can help do that. So I will go ahead and play. And this is a striker. So we strike lightly. And then you turn.
Hmm.
And you just want to play close to your openings, bring it up to your crown, then bring it all the way down to your heart. And then you just let that energy expand out.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Thank
That's
you.
so me. I love it. Thank you. That was very beautiful introduction. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, did you enjoy that?
I could
That
play
is
some
so,
more.
yeah, please. That was so nice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The frequency gets me all like,
Right. It just calms you down, simmers you
yeah,
down.
absolutely. Absolutely. So go back a little bit for a moment. Naturally, they all got different notes. So you've got multiple, I mean, we see on these videos people having multiple bowls and they all have different notes and sounds. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
How do you know which ones to buy according to the frequency you want?
Well, I bought a set. So you can buy them in chakra sets that will connect to each chakra note.
Okay.
To buy them individually for whichever chakra and note that you need. You feel like you're having problems with your root chakra. You need to help that out. You want to open it up. You want to get stable in your life and stuff like that. So for the root chakra, let's see, Bagfedc. So it'll be note C for your root chakra. So the root
Nice.
chakra.
I've never actually known that. I mean, you hear of, I mean, I watch multiple videos and stuff over time, but I never really thought about buying a bowl according to the chakra. And now I do. I'll be speaking to you after this show. That's amazing. It's good to know, right, guys? Very,
Yeah.
very good to know.
And this is
Hmm.
all about energy work. This is all about you magnetizing that energy that you need to pull into your life. Being able to pull that frequency in and expand upon it with the spiritual and the physical. So if you want something spiritual to enhance that energy, then you can use a singing bowl. You can use different herbs, you can use
Hmm.
different bowls, anything of the sort. So with that being said, if you're working on trying to be more stable in your life, you're working on getting
Hmm.
some steady foundations going for yourself, you're trying to find a way to just, have your balance and have your peace and build on top of that from there, then you would want a bowl that has note C. And when you're playing it and you're playing it clockwise and you're expanding upon it, you want to visualize pulling in that house you need, pulling in that job you need, pulling in anything that you need to create that stable foundation for yourself, and then
Nice.
out physically doing the work. So it's all
Mhm.
and working in your favor.
Wonderful. Well, let me show you my first and only baby. Are you ready?
Yes.
Where's my baby at?
Let's see the baby.
You're my baby. My baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Guys,
Look.
guys, don't ask me to play it now. The live will be over. Okay, I'm not there yet. Okay. Yeah. But let me tell you a miniature version of my story. First of all, I'm very much like you. I have to be pulled in a direction. So maybe about, could it be over 2 years? Maybe just over 2 years now. I knew that I wanted to buy one, but I had no knowledge of what notes ever. I just thought I want to buy one. And in my mind, at the time, I want a red one or a silver one, and it's going to match my decor. You see how much I was, yeah, you see where I was with all this, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's perfectly
Now, I
fine.
guess there's nothing wrong with having, yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a beautiful backdrop, which you have a very beautiful backdrop, okay?
Thank you.
But then I was in the market. I was not looking for one, but in my mind, whenever I do buy one, it's going to match this and it's going to match that. And yeah, it was about vibration, it was about the look. Yeah.
Yeah.
And once being in the market, I was like, oh, I wasn't planning on buying one on the day, but he's here. And I said to the man, do you have this color? Do you have that color? He says, no. He says, but just hold this,
Hmm.
hold them, feel which one feels more aligned to you, basically, in his own words.
Yes.
And you know what? There was other colors that would match, but it didn't feel right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
This here, I don't have anything in my home this color, but this is what felt right as my first baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So how would I know which note it is? Can you tell by the sound?
So I can't necessarily tell by the sound. We would have to measure it with a frequency measuring tool. There are tools, and you can get them on Amazon. I forget what they're called, but you can actually measure the frequency. Whether it's
Ooh.
432 hertz or anything like that.
Mhm.
That's coming from your bowl, and then you'll match it with the letter. So it's work that you can do, but when you purchase these bowls, typically the maker has already have them figured out and set up.
Figure it out.
Yes, you don't have to do the extra work to find out what frequency is this bowl. Yeah.
Nice. And in terms of the striker, there's so many different types, right? Do you have I mean, when I first got it, I was like, how the hell do I hold this? But yeah, I like the look of that. But okay,
I have this
professional.
striker as
So
well.
is that your favorite type of striker?
This one plays the male tone a lot. So the
Ooh.
bowls feminine tone and they have a masculine tone. So this
Mm.
striker plays a very low, deep tone, and that's considered
Ooh.
masculine tone. And as far as the feminine tone, it's a very more high pitched tone. So if I'm trying to ground somebody, I would play
Mm.
this striker and use the more masculine tone, the more deep tone.
So
Yes.
this is probably the in between both then,
Yes. So this
which is
striker,
very my
you can
personality.
play either tone with this one, but this one really only produces the masculine tone. Mm-hmm.
Right. And for yourself, would there be a particular striker that you like for self, or do you still use the masculine tone if you're going to play it for yourself when you're playing around with your own bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I like it. Oh yeah, I don't have a favorite. Isn't that something? I'll have to
No,
dig in that.
it's great. So although you do it, sorry, so although you do this now as a part of a business, living lifestyle as well, clearly, do you have much time to play it for yourself now and have a moment of therapy with yourself? Was it mainly now for clients?
Well, I need assistant. I have an assistant. My boyfriend will have to come in and help me. He comes in,
Nice.
he plays the bowls for me, and he's learning how to play the bowls. So
That's
he always asks
nice.
who heals the healer. And I'm like, shoot, I don't know. You tell me. No, that's not what I say.
But that's so nice. And
But
you
yeah.
know, let me zoom in on that for 1 second. Yeah. Hi, boyfriend. Okay. All right. Do you know how important it is in certain areas of our life in relationships to have an alignment? Yeah, because I'm not saying that our partners have to be a carbon copy of us or a direct mirror image of us, but when it comes to elements of the spirit, it works so profoundly to have someone that can vibrate even an interest in what that's about.
Yes. Yes. I told him.
Do you
I said,
understand where I'm going?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but the fact that he plays that bowl and allows you to have a moment as, not the therapist, so to speak, for a change,
Hmm.
but the person who just wants to have that relaxation or moment with the sound, that's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a lot of energy work to make sure that I could be with someone in alignment with me.
Yes.
So when he came into the picture and he was interested, and this is not his background, none of this,
Hmm.
very Christian background, um,
Hmm.
fine. But since being with me, he's basically Andre 3000 now. I'm his Erica Badu.
I get that, right? I mean, there's no explanation needed. Yeah, I totally
Yes.
get it. That's a beautiful thing because that means that although you accept the background, he's expanded to understand a different realm of how spirituality can be and even incorporate that in his own lifestyle. That's a beautiful thing.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, it is.
That's very, very, very nice. Okay, well, I've asked you a few things. Anything that you want to, before I go into more layers of you, that you want to just free yourself and tell me about or play more of your bowl?
I what I'll share really quickly is that with any bowl, if you have a
Hmm.
heavy heart, let's just say you went through any type of breakup, you've lost someone, your heart is hurting, your heart is broken. What
Yeah.
you do with a bowl, any bowl, you want to make sure you hover it right over your heart space. And when you
Ooh.
strike up, and then you want to turn. And as you turn, you want to visualize this energy going into your heart and expanding around your heart. And this
Mm.
helps to cleanse and remove any heavy energy, any stagnant energy will help to repair a broken heart. So this is energy work. This is visualizations that you want to be able to do. You close your eyes and you visualize and you feel because it's next to your heart, so it's easy to visualize. You
Mhm.
feel this energy. You can visualize it as white light, any type of color you want. And you can surround it in your heart and just imagine that vibration just expanding and vibrating around your heart. And this will help you
Mm.
on your day to day be able to take on the day, essentially.
That's really, really lovely to know. And what about things of, I don't know, anxiety, stress, relief, life, depression, whatever it is that grounding ourselves back, basically. Is there a particular way that we should do it or a particular area of the bowl that we should place?
Yes, there is a
Maybe?
particular area. Sometimes if you're dealing with high anxiety, you need to calm down. We strike up top, we start at the crown and we move down, and then we come
Mm.
up, and then we zigzag down, and then we come back up to the heart, and then to the third eye. So there are movements that we do to train
Mm.
the energy, to move the energy. This is where we take our
Mhm.
we learn a thing or two about where to position the bowls and move this frequency so that we can move it out the body and out of the energetic body as well.
Nice. How long did you need to study? What's the process of study and research to be able to get to the stage where you are at?
I always tell people it's so funny because there's so many people coming to me about wanting to learn from me, wanting to take a
Mhm.
private course with me because
Mhm.
they feel like the course that they took here in the States or whatever didn't help them. They don't know how to
Okay.
help their client. They don't like they're learning how sound heals, but they're not learning how to do it to heal people. They're learning
Okay.
how it heals, they're not learning what to do. So they're taking these
Okay.
courses and they're taking these online courses, but they're not really comfortable sitting down with their clients and actually placing a bowl and actually moving the energy. So they have people taking classes like Sound Healing 101, different instruments that help heal with sound. That's all cool and dandy, but how are we doing the hands-on work to do the work we need to do? So I always tell people you need to train outside this country. You need to go somewhere where they honor their spirits, where sound healing is prevalent, is people use it, it's done, is within their culture. So Nepal is a good place. If you want to go
Okay.
to Tibet is a good place. If you want to go to Phuket, Thailand, people are really close by the Asian countries, of course, so they bring it there. So you want to be in Japan is another good place too. I know.
Oh, I can't wait to go there. Yeah,
Yes. So you want
Japan's on
to
my
study
list.
outside this country, and you want to find
Mhm.
teachers who have studied outside this country as well. That's what I tell people.
What about for those who maybe can't, get to travel? Is there any resources that you could say, well, you know what, this is the plan B, although preferably traveling out? What's a good plan B?
Do your Google research and see where you can find it in different countries and email them. Reach out to
Mm,
them and see if they will teach you online or on Zoom. If you can't get to them, most of them have Facebook pages. They typically talk through Facebook Messenger or what's that, WhatsApp. And so you can contact these teachers, get their email, say how much you're interested, and just see
mhm,
if they'll work with you.
nice. The whole kind of, I would say, vibrational work, energy, and sound is definitely something that has been inspiring me for some years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that type of realm of work, I'd have to be at a much slower pace in my life and more settled for me to be able to truly connect to that. Because I do think it's easy saying, oh, I do it as a lifestyle, I do it as a job, but am I living that
Right,
myself? You
right.
understand what I mean? So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm very aware of self in terms of when it comes to spirituality and wanting to get into certain works and practices as a living, especially, I would have to be more settled within myself,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's really important as opposed to being, frantic and living life and saying, oh, I do energy work. No, my energy needs to calm down my damn self first.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So once I get to that relaxed state and I can just take a moment and be more still within my own frequency, that definitely would be then the time where I will endeavor to expand my higher purpose in calling. Because it's only so long you can kind of put a what's the word, restriction on your true callings.
Only served for so long. Yes, absolutely. And I
You
understand.
know.
And that's why we learn how to master energy. Alchemize energy,
Mhm.
master energy. We don't let it control us. We don't let it take over us. We get back to center when we need to. We step into
Mhm.
this mode when we have to. It's
Mhm.
being a fluid, what they say, multifaceted, multi-dimensional being to where
Yeah,
you can exist here and exist here. So even if your energy is like
absolutely.
this all the time, it's okay,
Mhm.
especially when you know how to reel it back in, calm it down,
Absolutely.
do the work.
Hmm. Absolutely. But I mean, there's such, well, the way you said it's well put in terms of, yeah, of course, we're all going to have moments where we're like busy or hectic and, we're filled with white noise. But I do think there is, a rhythmic river flow of which is more peaceful and still. And I think it makes a difference if you are practicing on somebody else and your own frequency is at ease,
Yes, it
you
absolutely makes
know? because
And
you're having an energy exchange with your client. So if you're like busy, 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 it's like you've actually probably made the energy worse.
yeah, it
So
makes
I'm
me
mindful.
And as for me and my business, it's so funny because my business will slow down for a week and then it'll
Mhm,
pick back up. And I'm busy as I don't know what. Then it'll slow
mhm,
down. Then it'll pick back up.
mhm,
But that is my
mhm,
ancestors and my spirits slowing it down for me because I'm
mhm,
a mama too. So I have
mhm. Of
to be
course.
able to address myself, cleanse myself,
Mhm,
balance myself, work on myself, and I'm not just bombarded
mhm.
with all this work to do all the
100%.
time. I
Yeah.
don't even know how energy work can be so for profit because
Mhm.
people get sick. And I've got physically sick from doing
Yeah.
energy work on people. And
Wow,
I'm
really?
stressing myself. That is something we deal with a lot. We get colds, we get chills, our bodies will break down.
It's energy. It's a lot of exchanging going
It's
on,
a lot
isn't
of
it? A lot of exchange.
excitement,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot of your energy to move and to help people move their energy as well.
Wow.
These healing modalities act as a buffer, but you still have the work that you're doing. So they assist me in moving energy and cleansing blockages and stuff. But if I do it too much too frequently and I don't stop to breathe and take a spiritual bath or relax or whatever, I will get sick. So I have
Mm.
that's like
Yeah,
me.
that makes sense. But the thing is, even if you're busy in terms of your work and being a mom and being a partner in everyday life, there's still a groundingness within that work that I strongly sense from you.
Yeah.
A groundedness, and that's really
Mhm.
important, and that's why I feel like, someone like, well, for me, I when it comes to like all that stuff, I'd be particular. Somebody like you, I'd be content to come to 100%,
Yes.
1000%.
Yes.
Furthermore, I should be in your city, you should be in mine, because we listen, let's talk about community. Yeah, let's do that before we kind of end it as well. How would you go about, because I've noticed on your page, there's different pockets of pictures and videos where you seem like you have a community of tribe, where you're all in white and having your moment by the lake. And I'm like, for me, that's what's missing with thyself. But at the same time, I've got to a point where I'm like, I am my tribe. Because sometimes it's like that,
Yeah.
you know? And
Hmm.
I feel like sometimes when you go seeking, you bump into the wrong energetic
Oh,
people because you're trying to fill a void that isn't there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, for an example, right? So, for you, where I see this vibrancy around you, which is so beautiful, how
Thank
could
you.
someone? Yeah, no, I see it. How could somebody go about, gaining that cultural community, who people who are on that, on the same lane and realm? What would be the first, I guess, way of seeking that?
Yeah. So you want to add us on Facebook, especially if you're a female. I'm an admin of a group called Spiritual
Okay.
Sisters of Atlanta. So I'm an
Nice.
admin, other women who are the admin as well. The group was created by Kendra. So essentially, what I was doing, I was just hosting events, and people would come out and they would be interested in what I have, and they would ask to build and grow with me, and that's how I got into the
Nice.
of Atlanta. And so now we host our own events. We do have an event coming up. We have a fire full moon release
Oh,
bonfire coming up. The fire hasn't come
lovely.
yet, but it's coming in December. We about to throw a big party underneath the stars, y'all.
I love
So
bonfire get-togethers. I love it. Mm.
yes, yes. And so then we created this safe space on Facebook for those who want to come commune with like-minded individuals, have sisterhood. Even if you want to bring your husband, your boyfriend, whoever, they can come to the river cleanses as
Why
well.
are you not in London? Why are you not in London, girl?
People ask me, you need
Why?
to be
If
here, here, here.
if I ever fly out, I'm definitely hollering at you. That's for sure. I loved during
Yes.
lockdown. During lockdown, there was a couple of get-togethers, and it was like my first time. So I was like, "Why are they going in the forest in the nighttime? This is creepy as hell." Yeah, that's what I was like at first. And let me tell you, I'm so glad I went.
Oh, you have to come.
Imagine bonfire, but imagine evening to like, to nighttime, bonfire vibes, cooking natural food over the fire, drumming for the ancestors. I can't even explain the level of what I experienced. It was like it was like a very happy moment, all based on vibration and being in the forest. I mean, with the right energy people. It was amazing.
That's so beautiful. You know,
Transformative.
it was. I bet it was. And I was like, I bet you had the best time because
The
whenever
best
I'm
time.
outside by the fire,
Girl,
my
I've never done so much in my life in the
sister,
outdoors.
right?
In the
Right.
outdoors, yeah. Some creepy
Yes.
things happened as well that night. That some supernatural stuff happened that I can't explain. I
Well,
remember. I'll tell you
I
quickly,
know.
guys. I remember uh, 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 a female and I had been walking through the bush, and we're looking and we're like, "What's that coming towards us?" I can't explain to you to this day what that was. Yeah, and I would have thought. I mean, I would have thought if it was a part of the camp, someone would have said, "Oh, hi, girls, it's me," or we looked and said, what is that? It just kept coming towards us. And suddenly it turned into a movie where she grabbed my hand, I grabbed hers, and we ran. Yeah, we ran.
It's a
I
lot of
have no
spirits out
explanation of what
here.
that was.
It's a lot of spirits out here, and they will come join the party. Oh, you got fire, y'all drumming, y'all dancing. They coming to join the party. That's probably what you saw.
Girl,
Yeah.
remember, that particular side of me was new. So I
Okay.
wasn't ready for that guest yet, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe? I mean, do you believe? Naturally, you do. I mean, what shall I say? Would that frighten you? Like something like that? Would that scare you? Would you be like, oh, hey, how do you think you would respond to something like that if it
I
really
probably would
was
have
a
just
ghost?
sit there and watched and figured out what was happening. I
So you
probably
don't
would have just.
frighten easy.
No, I'm not frightened easy. Just last night, it was a whole, I don't know, like a whole community or gang of folks in here, and I thought my TV was on. So I woke up out my sleep to turn off my TV, but no, it was just my spirits talking, and they were loud. So it doesn't scare me.
Girl,
They're just
I'm scared.
they're just energy to me. They're echoes of who we are
What?
outside of our physical. We are a spiritual being first. We are in the astral first. We are energy. We are light first. The body is the limitation placed on the soul that is limitless.
Come
So
on now.
I don't sweat it too much. Unless they come in here causing problems, then I got to do some work and tell them to get on, get out. But if they're not causing problems, I don't have an issue.
Let me retrack. You thought your television was on, and then you realized it was a whole bunch of, I shouldn't say spiritual squatters, but people that were just
It
chilling in
was.
the
It
house.
seemed like a whole squad was in here just laughing, talking, having a good
And
time.
you could hear this?
I could hear it woke me out my sleep, and I thought my TV was on. And I was like, you know what? It's time to turn down the party. Y'all too loud. I'm trying to go to
I
sleep.
hope to get to that stage because right now I'll be like, listen, let me call an Uber and get out of here.
I know, but I know what my home is, and I know that my home is
That's
protected.
beautiful.
That the spirits who come here are good, helpful spirits, spirits that are maybe in need, that may need love, may need
Mhm.
light, not here messing with stuff, knocking stuff over. You know, when you're dealing with spirits that are very angry and aggressive, that's something that needs to be addressed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But if you're just hearing them and you're just feeling them and they're your ancestors and they're hanging out, they sitting down, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to me.
I hope to get to that stage. I actually think that sometimes I think that people have greater callings, but because fear is in the way, someone like me, because fear is in the way, that I would be almost creating blockages within thyself.
Yes, you
You
could
know?
create a poltergeist from fear. You could attract
Oh, wow.
lower frequencies from fear. Yes, you can.
Wow.
You, our energy work and we work with spirit, we understand that fear has no place at all.
100%.
It cannot be, it cannot
But
exist.
something like that
Yeah.
will get me twisted.
If
Yeah.
you heard people talking and you woke up and you was
Girl,
like,
I told you I'm calling an Uber and I'm getting out of here in my
oh, that's
PJs.
so funny.
Yeah.
Funny,
I don't
yes.
know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. I ain't gonna be here.
Right. It's not gonna be here. Like, well, let me
Yeah.
do my
But
energy
you know,
time.
I spoke to literally, I spoke to about nearly 3 years ago. I spoke to what should I call her? She deals with a lot of, she's obviously a spiritual person who deals a lot of cleansing and dealing with people that does have unusual activity as well in homes. And we were just speaking, and she was saying, something, Silva. She said that she's supposed to be someone that does other forms of work as well as, reading and stuff like that. But she was saying that she's asked spirit to not give that to her. And I
Mhm.
was like, can you do that? And she was like, absolutely.
You can.
Absolutely. So I was saying to her, I've asked spirit, please do not allow me to see anything, that thy soul cannot handle.
Right. And you won't see a thing. And if you do
Yeah.
see something, then it's not good. Then you'll need to get that addressed. But
You
if
know what I mean? And we
Mhm.
was having that conversation because I guess once you home into your own, I guess, source of empowerment and you have to, I guess, stop denying or what your higher purposes are, that may come with eliminating the everyday forms of fear. But in terms of people that are comfortable, so I saw Mr. So-and-so in spirit. No, no, no. Mr. So-and-so, I don't want to see you, please. I don't actually want to hear you, but I don't mind feeling the direction of what I got to do.
Right, right. And I'm glad that you're specific and you let them know because they
Yeah, I
will
have to
be
be.
yeah.
I'm a feeler, and very much so. So
I
I'm
love it.
aware that I put a cap.
Yes. You said,
I have
we
to put a
stop
cap.
here. We go no further. Thank you.
We don't know further. But I'm glad that you are very calm and confident and embrace it, and there's no fear there in terms of hearing it so loudly and having that comfortability within your home as well. Wow.
Yeah. And then I just set up a nice altar for them and veneration and stuff. So I knew that the energy was heightened in my home already, but they was having a big old get down party time because when I tell you they were so loud, I was like, listen,
Girl,
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
wow. Do you know, let me drop something on you, slightly different but the same. And maybe you guys, I'll go back to your comments in a moment. Have you ever experienced, this has been happening to me a lot in the last maybe 6 months or just under a year. I keep hearing like a doorbell. So imagine I'm sleeping.
hmm
The first two times I heard it, I swore to myself it has to be someone at my door. So I heard the doorbell. To me, I heard the doorbell. So I got up and I thought, well, I don't do uninvited guests, so maybe it's my son that's pulling up late at night, which will be rare as well for him to pull up at night, my adult son. And I go to the window and I'm like, hello? There's nobody there. So I thought, okay, maybe it's the wrong number. Maybe it's for my neighbor. I go back to sleep. It happens again, and I'm aware that there's no one there. So
As you're
no one,
going to sleep, you hear this?
no, I'm
Or just,
super in a deep sleep.
okay, you're
So what it is,
hmm
mm-hmm. Go ahead, sis, go on.
So, you could absolutely be astral projecting. There are so many ways that this could go. You could be astral projecting, hearing things, experiencing things. Sometimes people feel things like or hear things like this, but it also comes along with feeling when they're dealing with some type of spiritual paralysis, where they're dealing with certain spirits or entities who are not good for them, but next to them, and it kind of like restricts them from moving.
Yeah,
Um,
that bit I know. It doesn't happen then. I know that part 'cause I've
you
experienced
know what
that.
that is. Right, right. So
Yeah,
what that would be is you just shifting through the astral and hearing and being able to hear.
it
And
wakes me up though. That's the thing. It wakes up. By the third time it happening, I thought, let me randomly Google this. I'm gonna go deeper into the search, but when I've Googled and gone into different pages, obviously it speaks of layers of things of, the universe trying to wake you up from something or the universe trying to tell you that there's all different renditions. But I know it's something because literally
it
it's
could be
my
an answer.
doorbell.
It could be an
It's
answer.
my doorbell.
It could be an ancestor coming to speak to you, and
That's what it said. That's what it said.
mm-hmm. And that's what I got. But I wanted to give a range first. But it's most definitely an ancestor coming to speak to you. Absolutely. And
But it's go on.
you would benefit from spending some time meditating with a candle. What you do, you take yourself one candle, look at the candle for a minute, really focus in on that flame, then close your eyes and see what pictures come into your mind's eye. This is exercising your psychic muscle, your third,
Mm.
and this is going to help you be able to get those messages. You'll get them as pictures or you'll see them as movies. So this is something you could do to strengthen that, to really figure out who, well, we know it's an ancestor, but what would
I didn't know. I actually didn't know until you're confirming what I read, because I've heard varied versions. You're literally confirming what I read only a few days ago.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
we don't
you're
know
on
stuff
point.
like that.
I never knew. I knew it had to be by the third time. Now it's the fourth time. I've had it about four times now, I would say. About four times. And the last time it happened was last week.
Yeah.
But this time, I didn't feel the need to get up and see who's at the door because I know it's nobody. So it wakes me. I hear the doorbell ringing, so I get up. I get up suddenly, like, okay, it's the door. And I'm like, okay, I know it's not the door, and
And
I
how
go back
late
to
is
sleep.
this? We're talking like midnight. We're talking like 1, 2 in the morning.
Oh
Or
my God, do you know, with these occasions, I actually haven't focused on the time. I will next time. In the past,
that
when
time.
I kept waking up about 3 in the morning, I realized back then I was doing a lot of creativity, creative writing and poetry and a lot of creative production I was doing then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd always be getting up at 2, 3 at the same time. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
then that stopped. Now it's the doorbell ring.
Yeah. Take a look at that time, especially when it's within those, what as they call them, the witching hours between like midnight to 3. That's when you know you're getting visitations. That's when you know somebody's coming through to speak to you. It's just easier for whatever reason around that time for them to pierce through that astral and be able to communicate with us still in the physical. So when that's happening, look at the time, and then you want to spend some time just focusing on a meditation to open and expand your mind so that you can receive those messages that you need.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Would you like to spend some more time playing the bowl for us? Actually, no, before you do, let me go to the comments because I think there was one or two that was made earlier.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Maybe you want to grab yourself a glass of juice or something as we wind down
I,
the live slowly.
I got you covered.
Yeah. Oh, girl. Yes.
Still with the wine. Still with the wine.
Yes, girl. Let me see. Oh my God. I didn't have my glasses with me on my last show. I feel so much. I had to get my prescription redone and I feel like I've got life now. Otherwise, I can't see a damn thing. Let me go back. Let me go back and send some waves. Hi, guys who's still with us. I hope you're having a really good time. Shout out to everybody. Let me send you some waves.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Let me send some waves. Blessing to you. Miss Lipsy, Fifi, Lala. Let me see. And who else? Somebody. Oh, where's my comments disappeared to? It does that sometimes. Let me see. Dope female. She says, what kind of free flowing thoughts are flowing? You mean on the live today? Oh, you just joined at the time? This is beautiful. Miss Divinity here. We're talking about sound and sound healing. If you're still present, you may want to go back and watch the replay. It's been really, really interesting. Let me see. And it's giving me a notification like someone was trying to join the live. This is an exclusive live tonight, guys.
It was like, let me hop on in. I got something to say.
Yeah. Well, maybe next time we can do a sound bowl session. Who knows? All right. So
Hey.
for now, can you please? Yeah, you are? Good. Okay. Dope female. Nice. Okay. So for now, oh, it's okay. No worries. No worries. For now, Divinity, can you please play us? What would be really nice is I saw on your video, one of your slides, that you were using the sound and you was talking about pulling in or pulling this in. Maybe you can give us some examples of how we can do that, like whether it's I pull in love or I pull in finance or whatever it is that you do in your practice. Show us how we do that.
So this meditation that I do is where we focus on energetically visualizing what it is that we desire or want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just use an example. Let's just say you want a new job. We can all follow this and flow with this. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you have that place visioned in your mind. Maybe you don't have the place, but you know what you want. So you want
Mm-hmm.
to visualize that, and you want to, in your mind's eye, form that into energy. So I see a building. Let's say it's this place I want to work. Let's just say Google. I'm visualizing the Google building. And so then I'm mending this building and I'm welding it into a ball of light.
Mm.
I'm taking my bowl and I'm going to play it, and we clockwise to pull in. And so
Mm-hmm.
this white light that I have just formed in front of me in the astral, in the spiritual, because our mind works in the astral as well. We exist in many dimensions as one. So we're going to pull it in. I'm pulling it towards me. I'm engulfing myself in this new job as I am hearing the frequencies flow and expand and magnetize. So that was our overview. Let's give it a go. Let's give it
Thank
a
you. Thank you. Let's hear the
yes. All right. All right. So whatever it is you're trying to pull in your life, let's go ahead and
I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay. Guys, join in. Let's do it.
mhm.
Let's do it. Go for it.
All right. It's right in front of us.
Mm.
It's in our mind's eye. Now
Mm-hmm.
to mold this into a white ball of light. And I
Mm-hmm.
play this bowl, visualize this white ball of light engulfing you in your entire existence. And now I want you to slowly dissolve this desire, this want, this need. I want you to slowly dissolve it inside of yourself so that you are living, you are walking, you are breathing what it is that you are manifesting into your life. Ashe, ashe, Shayo, all
That
right.
was lovely. Whilst I was trying to concentrate, do you know my issue? I've got too much white noise. So I'm doing it. I'm thinking of the gym tomorrow morning. I'm thinking of work next week. I need to learn how to switch off. That's my
It comes in
problem. You
practice.
see?
It comes in practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's oh no, it's always been, even when I'm doing meditation, it's always been having to pull myself back and recenter.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was lovely. How did you feel playing that in this moment? Did you get any
I
different
loved it.
vibrations?
Sometimes I'll feel tingles. When you start to physically feel tingles or like you're being touched, just know that
Mhm.
that's your guides, your angelic beings who are here walking with you, helping you, your ancestors. So some of it gets
Mhm.
to the point where we actually feel the energy. So yeah,
100%, exactly how I feel. So you feel that whilst you're playing it as well, yeah?
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank
Do you
you.
think it's not as effective, or it is like for us to go on YouTube and play sounds of the sound bowl, which I love to do, or rainforest? Do you feel like it's not as, even though it's not the person playing directly, do you think that's also a very good aid?
It's a very good aid if you can't get next to the real thing. So I
Yeah.
would absolutely go on YouTube, but also research, when people are throwing sound baths, when they
Mhm.
are hosting these events in your area, so that you can come in with your yoga mat, blanket, and pillow and lay out and get your visions and get your
I'm
clarity.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. One moment, it seems like there's a comment for you. Let's have a look. This is my sister Fifi. Hey Fifi, she says, I love that. That was so relaxing. Thank you. I feel such a sense of release. Yeah, wonderful. Feel lighter after that. I got goosebumps. Yeah, 100%. I think Fifi, that should be one of our next missions, is looking for a sound bath in our area because we live right around the corner from each other. So that's really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be really. Oh, that was so, so nice, Divinity.
Thank
Before I close this live, is there anything that you would like to say in your own words before leaving us today that I didn't get to ask you?
Anything in my own words. Just be patient with
Mhm.
yourself. Be patient on your journeys. Show yourself some grace. We're all here learning, growing, and evolving. People like to think of Earth as like the training grounds to something higher. So I just want us all to remember that we're all in training. And we're all learning, growing, and evolving. So don't be too hard on yourself. That's all I want to share.
Wow. I've had such a lovely, lovely time. This is more like a relaxing treat for me. I've had a lovely time. Again, I say spirituality is my favorite conversation, absolutely, in all forms, should I say. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Divinity. That name that name embodies your spirit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Appreciate that.
before you go, there's two more things. The first thing is your plug. Let's plug your website of Shrine of Divinity. Tell us about that before you go.
Okay, so you can access my website at shrineofdivinity.com. If you want to book a reading, if you need to book spiritual counseling sessions, I do that as well. I put on there when we're doing different events and things of the sort, or if you need a in-house sound therapy, energetic cleansing session, then I'm here with that as well. So that is what you can find on my website, and also I'm on YouTube at Heal Travel
Mhm.
Love. I have some guided meditations that people absolutely love, and it has transformed their life. So
I'm gonna tune in.
yes, get on there, check it out. I gotta revamp it, but so far they love those. And yeah, y'all can also find me at Spiritual Sisters of ATL. That is our Facebook group if you need community, if you want to hang out with like-minded sisters.
Lovely. What you're going to do for me, please, is if
Yes.
you can inbox me straight after this live, your website, your YouTube, and I can attach it to the posts like this one. Once I download it, I
Yes.
put all the details on it so people could just go right to it and find you. And obviously, I'm going to tag your page as well. So that'd be wonderful. And my last question that I ask everybody is, how did you spend your night tonight? How was it for you being on Free Flowing Thoughts with me?
This was wonderful. I'm so excited that I got to enjoy you. I got to come, we got to connect and just have this wonderful energy vortex of healing, transparency, of clarity, and new knowledge. I'm very grateful for the time that we got to spend together. So thank you. And I can't wait
Lovely.
to London. I need to go to the underground scene where y'all are dancing.
Let me
I need
tell
to
you,
have a good time.
if you're ever in London, definitely holler at me. I'd love to hang out with you. And if I'm ever in your city, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Just pull up with you and your Istanbul and be like, listen, girl, I'm here.
Right.
Yeah?
In your city, where you at?
No, 100%. I mean that. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a
I
stranger.
got
Holler at me. Yeah?
you. Yes.
Good. You're definitely my type of spirit that I'd love to hang out with. You got the energy that I really appreciate. Divinity, thank you so much for your presence. You've been a charm. Feel free to exit the live, press the X wherever you see it.
Thank y'all for
And
hanging
I'll
out
speak
with
to you
me.
soon. Don't forget to inbox me those details so I can put it straight on after the live.
All right.
Namaste.
Peace. Y'all have a good night.
See you later. That was amazing. I love it. Fifi, you on that, yeah? Oh my God, no, girl, for real. Guys, I love that live. That was like, oh, that was noisy. That was a live almost for me. Yeah, because it's my favorite, as I say again, type of conversations. Yeah, it's really relaxing for me. It allows me to be in my humble spirit. I'm less challenging. I'm just a lot more, yeah, it's my happy place. Spirituality is very much my happy place. Guys, if there's anyone watching this who wants to hook up a live or schedule anything, you know how it goes. Any topic goes as long as it flows. Let's schedule something for next week. Diary's open. Until then, I speak to you soon. Peace and love.